Hey everyone, it's Reese here from Yes Supply. I'm a mindset and abundance coach and of course founder of Yes Supply. And I'm so excited to be here with you today, sharing with you my tips on how I channel as a coach. Now, I want to be very clear as I get into this. When I talk about how I channel in a sense that when I'm working with a client or even with a group of clients, a nudge or a little message or a feeling or a vibe of what to say or do or what message needs to come through me comes through me. I trust it, and a lot of times when I share something, people tell me that they needed to hear exactly what I said right when I said it. So channeling my work allows me to work from a place of flow, of ease, of never feeling like I'm forcing anything or efforting, but just essentially feeling like I'm myself, feeling like I'm following intuitive nudges. I'm always guided, always led, always supported. So I want to share this with you. Now, if you're here, if you read the video description and you say, oh, channeling, and you're thinking I'm going to talk about Abraham Hicks level channeling, this is not the video for that. So you might want to find a different video. But if you're a coach or a leader, a speaker, and you want to know how to really tune in and channel your message, not overthink it, work from a state of flow, have fun doing what you're doing, then this is the video for you. Now, before I get into it, I also want to share with you, I have a free masterclass that shows you my 5 steps to becoming a successful coach. So you can head to yesapply.co/coach masterclass to sign up for it. It's an absolutely amazing training, and I can't wait to share with you my secrets to doing a job that I love. So one of the things that makes it so easy for me to run my business is that I really do work from a place of channeling. So I'm not forcing, I'm not over planning, I'm not over controlling. I'm in the state of allowing, and what's happened since I've really shifted into a state of allowing, of trusting that I'm always supported from the universe, of trusting that whatever I need shows up for me in the right time, I have created so much more abundance in my business. I love what I do. And of course, that helps me keep my energy elevated, which is of course crucial as a coach because people are drawn to you because of your energy, right? If somebody's looking for coaching, they are looking for somebody who is in the energy or maybe has the things, has the life, has created the state of being that they want, and they want to learn from you. And so when I'm in a state of flow, I feel like I'm truly being myself. I'm connected to my higher self. And I can't wait to share with you how I do this because I really want the same for you. I think we're really taught that life has to be a struggle, that it has to be hard. School teaches us that we can fail or that we have to overplan and overthink things in order to succeed. And what I've actually found in my life is the exact opposite, that following my heart, following my creativity, doing what feels good rather than doing what feels hard is actually what led me on the path to success. Another huge thing once you start to implement the tips that I'm going to share with you is you really start to connect to something that's much bigger than you. And as you're doing what you do, whether you're a coach or you work somewhere else or you have a different type of business, you're going to feel like what you're doing is part of something that's so much bigger than you. And that's an incredible feeling to have as you work through your day. And when I get to the end of my life and look back, I really do want to feel like I've done something, I've contributed to something greater than me. And so working from this place helps me feel connected to something so much greater than myself. Speaking of channeling, what I'm going to be talking about is how you're going to feel nudged to do something, to take an inspired action, to say a certain thing. And then later on, once you trust that, you'll find out it was for the greater good. It led you on an amazing path. And so as I was planning this video, I felt the nudge to grab this book from my bookshelf and open it up. And so I want to share with you what page I opened it up to because it actually leads in perfectly to everything that we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to link this book down below in the comments so that if you want to grab it too, you can. It's called The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent by Esther and Jerry Hicks. And I have a bunch of their books and they're amazing, and I listen to their videos on YouTube all the time, and it always helps to raise the vibe. Esther channels Abraham, which is like a higher, I don't have the right words for it right now, but it's like a higher collection of spirits that channels through that they have a message for humanity. And so she says, and I'll just read a little bit from the book, Abraham has explained that everyone has the ability to receive information from the non-physical, as I'm doing with Abraham. Just as we all have access to writing beautiful music or painting beautiful pictures, it's all there for us to tap into at any time from any physical vantage point. And just as there's enormous variety in the way people translate music or art, there's enormous variety in the way people interpret non-physical energy or spirit. I wanted to share that with you because, you know, if you're called to this video and you're thinking, wow, that would be so great if I could channel, if I could feel connected, if I could feel supported, but you might be thinking like, I'm not spiritual enough yet, or maybe I have to take a big long course or something like that. It is not true. We all have the power to connect to something greater than ourselves, and it really is a matter of allowing it to happen. Now, my first tip for you on how to channel, how to tap in so you feel like you're in flow as a coach, or really in your life, like in the book says, you can use it as an artist or a musician or a chef or a builder, literally anything, because it allows you to work from your heart space. It allows you to work from your creativity. And as humans, we're here to create something bigger than ourselves. And so we need to stop resisting what we want and start allowing what we want and allow ourselves to create that thing that we're guided to do. So my first tip for you is to remember that if you want to work and live in the state of channeling, you don't have to do it with your eyes closed, okay? You don't have to do it sitting on a rock in the middle of a river, like, you know, zenning out. Like, it's not like that. You can actually live your life in a state of flow. So, you know, I feel like I'm channeling when I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner. I feel like a channel when I'm doing a live stream. I feel like a channel as I'm maybe driving in my car and something tells me turn right when I know I would usually turn left, and it always leads me to something. Sometimes I'm booking a ticket to go somewhere and something's urging me to sit in this specific seat, and then I find out that when I sat in that seat, I sat next to somebody who I was really meant to sit next to, whether I had a great conversation or maybe they became a client. Amazing things have happened to me like that. Or I've been guided to sign up for certain courses or certifications, and sometimes in my head I don't know why I'm led to it, but then after I learn powerful lessons in that I never would have had I not taken the leap or the risk for myself. And so it really is all about trusting, and I really live by the saying, take the first step and the path will appear. It's about, you know, moving into the power energy rather than the force energy. A lot of people will call it feminine energy rather than masculine energy. And, you know, allowing myself to receive ideas or inspiration or help or support, and trusting that I'll have that support as I'm moving forward. So know that channeling does not mean that you're sitting in a dark room by yourself, but you can live life in a state of feeling totally connected to something bigger than you. Now, my next tip for you to channel as you live your life, and especially as a coach, is to tune into the emotional guidance scale. So I talk about this all the time, but there's an incredible book called Power versus Force by David Hawkins. And in it, he talks about the scale of consciousness. And so the scale of consciousness is essentially like a meter that he uses to allow you to know what feeling you're feeling and what vibration or frequency number it correlates to. And so what he's found is that we as humans, we have an innate ability to know what is good for us or what isn't good for us. And how we're able to tune in and tap into that is through our feelings. So, you know, you might have met somebody in the past or walked into a room and you might say, oh, it doesn't feel so good in here, or that person feels great to be around. That's your intuition telling you whether you're on the right track or not on the right track. Just like nature outside, if you think about it, a tree naturally knows how to grow. You know, babies naturally know how to grow. Nature knows how to grow in the best way for it. And as humans, we're the top of the food chain, right? And so not only do we know how to grow to become a beautiful tree or flower and reach our physical potential, but we also know how to grow to create and reach our creative potential. And that's through following what feels good. So what I do is I'm tuned into my emotions all the time. I used to be a very visual person, and I'm still quite visual, but now through the years of running my coaching business, I've become so much more more kinesthetic, which means I'm in my feelings more. And I'm always asking myself, whether I'm, calling someone or about to say something or about to launch a new product or post something, I'm asking myself, does this feel good or does it not feel good? And when I'm tuned into my own emotional guidance scale and it feels good to do it, I'm going to do it. Now, there's a caveat to that, because oftentimes I'll have fear, right? I'll have fear of doing something new, like fear of signing up for an expensive course or certification, or fear of hopping on a flight to somewhere I've never been before, or fear of doing a live stream when I don't have it perfectly planned out, right? Or are afraid that people might judge me for something I'm about to say. I ask myself the question, does just beyond that fear, do I feel like I really want it? Or does just beyond that fear, does it feel like it would be a good thing for me to do? Like it would lead me on my path to becoming my higher self, to becoming who it is that I want to be? And if the answer is yes, then I know that the fear is just coming from my physical body that's designed to make me survive, but not from my spiritual self that wants me to truly thrive. So I'm understanding the difference and I'm tapping into my spiritual side, because that is infinite, whereas my physical, that is finite. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions on anything, you want me to clarify anything in a follow-up video, just leave me a comment below, let me know. The next tip for helping you to tune in and become a channel is to limit your distractions. So years ago, I used to be somebody who would wake up and the first thing that I would do is grab my phone. And I do not do that anymore. The reason is because I find that if I wake up and I look at my phone, like I've done it here and there, but I would say like 98% of the time I don't, because I know if I wake up and the first thing that I do is grab my phone, it completely throws me off. It puts me, if you think about our thoughts like a frequency, what I think it does by me looking at all these messages as soon as I wake up in the morning is it throws off my frequency, right? Rather than it being a strong connected frequency, it's like putting fuzz in it, like when you listen to a fuzzy radio station. So what you can do if you really want to tune in to the channel that you're meant to receive, right? Tune into the information that you're meant to receive, is limit the distraction. So limit the social media scrolling, limit the hours of Netflix or watching news, because all of that is noise that's going to make the channel of information from you to whatever's higher than you fuzzy, and I don't want that for you. So if you can limit the distractions, and something to think about, especially if you're a creator, if you're a coach or a content creator, anything like that, you really want your message to be pure. You want your message to come from you, because why did you want to start this in the first place? Because you wanted to create something beautiful, right? And so allow yourself to create that from you, not from a watered down version of, what you're seeing other people do. So the more you can limit that, the more clear your channel is going to be, the more you're going to feel like you're truly expressing yourself. And when you feel like you're truly expressing yourself, you're going to fall in love with the work you're doing even deeper. And a big part of that is trusting the message that comes through, knowing that you're the one who's meant to share it. My next tip is to not judge the messages that come through, right? So like I said, I could be driving in my car and I know I usually turn left, but something is telling me to turn right. And I know it's that feeling, it's my intuitive feeling, right? If I judge it or say, oh no, that's wrong, what I'm doing is I'm halting that communication. And the more I resist it, the more I cut it off. I say, no, there's no way that's right. It doesn't logically make sense. I'm actually cutting off my source of more information. So the more when you get those downloads, you say, yep, I don't know why, but I'm gonna follow it. You're actually strengthening your connection to source. You're actually strengthening that channel of intuitive guidance, which means you're gonna get more intuitive guidance and better intuitive guidance. And it's my intuitive guidance that's brought me to where I am today in my business, in my life, in my relationships, in my finances, in everything, in my health. It's really my intuition. Now, I don't want to say there's no education. Of course, I read books, I take courses, everything like that, but I follow what I'm intuitively guided to take in. I'm not just taking in everything, right? I'm being guided to it. So the more you're saying, yep, I trust it, you're strengthening that connection. And every time you resist the message that's coming through. You get an inspired action to do a live stream or launch a course or hire a coach or take a course, and you try to say, no, I know more. You're cutting off your source of that intuitive connection, and you're lessening that muscle, right? And so strengthen that muscle, and then you're going to be even more tuned in to whatever is meant to come through to you. My next tip is take time for silence every day. So in the morning, I like to do what I call checking my voicemails. So I'll just be quiet for a few minutes, and I just, I'm not thinking about anything, I'm not planning anything, I'm just tuning in and asking myself, like, what is coming through to me? And I always feel like I get messages, whether it's an idea for a post or a piece of content to make, or something to do in my business, or to talk to someone, or maybe I'll forget or I'll remember something that I forgot about, whatever it is. So when I start my day, I'm silent for a few minutes. I get all these downloads. And what I think is, we have downloads, all of us have downloads that are waiting for us. But when we're so busy with TV and Instagram and running around and our lives, we're not able to stop to ask ourselves what messages are coming through to me. So just give yourself 5-10 minutes a day and check your voicemails, and you're going to see that there's some beautiful messages that have been waiting for you. And if you've ever had this happen before, where you're busy, and then you just stop for a few minutes. Maybe it's when you're taking a shower. Maybe it's when you're going out for a walk. Maybe it's right before you go to bed, you get flooded with ideas. That was when you maybe inadvertently checked your voicemails, and all those incredible downloads that were waiting for you were finally able to come through. Now, sometimes when people tell me like they're having trouble sleeping at night because they have all these ideas, that tells me, okay, you need to give yourself more time during the day to check your voicemails, because you have all these incredible ideas that are waiting for you, and you're not tuning into them. So then right before you go to bed, as you're drifting off, you're getting them. But if you give yourself time during the day to get them, write them down, take action on them, whatever it is, you're not going to get flooded at night. And then of course you can actually use these gifts that you're receiving. My next tip for channeling is don't try to control. So like I said before, I went through my whole life and I have a finite amount of logic that I've picked up from school or books or past experience. But when I tune into something greater than me, I'm tuning into infinite intelligence that's connected to everything in our world like a hologram. And it has access to information that I don't logically have, but when I trust it, I'm able to tune into something that's greater than me. So I don't try to control it, but I just allow it because I trust it. I've, over the years have trusted, and it always worked out for me. So now I know to trust that if something's coming through to me, it's because there's something that's outside of my awareness that has occurred. And so now I'm getting this information to support me, because without that information, maybe I wouldn't be going down the path that I'm going down, or maybe I wouldn't be able to make the choices that are in my best interest. So I don't try to control it, I just trust it, and I just trust that making that decision is for something that's greater than me. So like I said before, nature, and we're a part of nature, of course, works in a natural order. If you think of like a forest or a jungle, everything works together like one giant organism. So, there's enough water for the trees to take so the trees can grow, and then the birds can build their nest in the trees, and the birds, go pull the worms from the ground, and the worms are aerating the soil, and everything kind of works together in a beautiful symbiotic process. So know that you are part of the greater whole. And by you following these intuitive nudges to grow, so that means when something's telling you, paint that painting, write that book, start that podcast, take that trip, sign up for that course, hire that coach, post that post on Instagram, whatever it is, when you follow that urge inside of you to be your greatest self, you are more greatly contributing to the overall organism that is our planet. And so when good people like you give yourself permission to do the good that you're meant to do in the world, it's actually making everything better for everyone, not just people around you, but for people who are miles and miles away from you. You never know how you fully expanding your soul can help others fully expand themselves as well. Whether it's just the shift in your energy, that's energetically helping others, or maybe it's by you following your dreams that you become an inspiration to others to follow their dreams as well. So remember to keep allowing yourself to be creative, tap into that flow of information that's always coming to you, trust it, and know that you are fully capable and fully deserving of living a life in a state of flow, feeling like you're channeling and having a lot of fun doing what you're doing. And if you're interested in becoming a coach, a mindset or manifestation coach, or becoming a leader or influencer who helps people with their subconscious mind and energy, I'd like to remind you that I have an incredible training that shows you my 5 steps to becoming a successful mindset and manifestation coach. So you can head to yesapply.co/coach masterclass. I absolutely love what I do, especially, right now in the world, I'm able to work from home, have complete freedom in my life, complete freedom with my family, and it's because I've chosen to come down this path. And so if you're feeling called, I'd love to see you join that training. So head to yesapply.co/coach masterclass to sign up. If you love this video and you're going to try one of the tips, let me know which tip you're going to try below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below and also hit the bell so you get notified when I come up with new videos, and I will see you in the next one.